As the first rays of sunlight spill across the vast African savanna, the landscape stirs with a quiet energy. The golden grasslands shimmer beneath a delicate veil of morning mist, each blade catching the light, each shadow hinting at hidden stories. Spiderwebs, strung like jewels between the tall grasses, glisten with dew, silent evidence of the countless lives that have already begun their daily rituals, unseen by most. Beneath this tranquil surface, a complex drama unfolds. A predator moves with calculated silence, its gaze fixed on a distant herd. Termite mounds rise like miniature fortresses, their architects emerging to greet the cool air, while the wind stirs the grasses, sending insects darting from stalk to stalk. Every movement, every breath, is part of a vast interconnected system, one where survival is a daily negotiation. At the watering hole, a congregation of life forms a living mosaic. Antelope, zebra, and warthog gather, their differences set aside in the pursuit of water. Beneath the surface, a crocodile waits, its presence a silent threat. Dragonflies skim the water's edge, their wings catching the light, while birds descend in swift arcs, each species drawn by the promise of sustenance, each action rippling outward through the ecosystem. In the shade of an acacia, baboons engage in a flurry of social exchanges, grooming, signaling, forging alliances that will determine their fortunes. Not far away, a lioness lies in the grass, her muscles coiled beneath a mask of calm. Her eyes sweep the horizon, reading the movements of every creature, her mere presence shaping the behavior of all who share this domain. Deep within the forest, chimpanzees navigate a world of shadows and opportunity. One selects a slender stick, deftly probing a termite mound, while a youngster watches, absorbing the lesson. Here, intelligence is currency, and knowledge is passed from hand to hand, generation to generation, ensuring the survival of the troop. On the open plain, a Cape buffalo grazes, its massive frame undisturbed by the hornbill perched above. The bird's sharp eyes scan for danger, while oxpeckers comb the buffalo's hide for parasites. This alliance, forged by necessity, is a testament to the subtle negotiations that define life here, each species offering something the other cannot provide alone. In the dappled light of the forest floor, the Red River hog roots through leaf litter, its snout uncovering seeds and insects hidden beneath the surface. With every turn of the soil, it aerates the earth, dispersing nutrients and seeds, quietly shaping the future of the forest with each foraging expedition. Towering above the grasslands, elephants move with deliberate grace. Their trunks break branches and strip bark, opening up the canopy and creating new pathways. Calves mimic their elders, learning the skills that will one day allow them to shape the land themselves. Each step leaves a mark, each action a legacy for those who follow. Across the savanna, animals display a dazzling array of adaptations. Wildebeest plunge into rivers, braving the jaws of crocodiles in their relentless search for greener pastures. Others blend seamlessly into their surroundings, their colors and patterns a living shield against detection. Each strategy is a response to the shifting challenges of drought, predation, and competition. The savanna is a stage for constant negotiation. Impalas cluster tightly, their senses attuned to every movement, while predators linger at the edges, testing the boundaries of opportunity. Every interaction is a calculation, every decision a matter of life and death, echoing through the web of relationships that binds them all. A lion's gaze fixes on an antelope herd, the tension palpable. The antelope frees, ears twitching, every muscle poised for flight. In this moment, the balance of power is uncertain, the outcome determined by anticipation, timing, and the silent language of the wild. Suddenly, a flock of birds erupts into flight, their alarm calls cascading through the air. A ripple of tension passes through the herd, each animal responding in perfect synchrony. The web of awareness stretches across species, binding them in a shared vigilance that can mean the difference between safety and peril. A stampede of wildebeest thunders across the plain, their hooves churning the earth into clouds of dust. A carefully planned hunt is thrown into chaos. Predators forced to adapt as their quarry scatters. In the wild, even the best-laid plans are subject to the unpredictable currents of chance and circumstance. High in the trees, a bird's call rings out, a warning that travels far beyond its own kind. A vervet monkey echoes the alarm, and suddenly, animals across the savannah are on alert. These signals, passed from species to species, form an invisible network of communication, a lifeline in a world of constant danger. The landscape itself is a living record of these interactions. When elephants topple trees or dig for water, they create new habitats, openings for sunlight, pools for the thirsty, shelter for the vulnerable. Their actions ripple outward, shaping the destinies of countless other species. From above, the savannah reveals its hidden patterns. Trails converge at waterholes, evidence of shared resources and overlapping territories. Each path tells a story of movement, migration, and the constant search for balance in a world of limited abundance. Venturing into the dense bush, shafts of sunlight pierce the canopy, illuminating a world alive with motion. Insects buzz in the humid air, pollinators and prey alike, each playing a role in the intricate machinery of the forest. Every leaf, every shadow is a stage for adaptation and survival. In the tall grass, a lion stalks with deliberate patience. A subtle flick of the tail, a glance exchanged, signals pass silently among the pride. Their coordinated movements are a masterclass in strategy, where timing and teamwork are as vital as strength and speed. In the treetops, chimpanzees swing with effortless agility, their pursuit of food a blend of intelligence and daring. A raid on a wasp nest yields a feast, shared among the troop, a moment of triumph in a world where every meal is hard-won. On the open plain, Cape buffalo stand shoulder to shoulder, their unity a formidable defense. When threatened, they form a living shield around their young, facing down even the most determined predators with unwavering resolve. In the undergrowth, a hornbill follows a red river hog, snatching insects unearthed by the hog's relentless digging. This partnership, born of opportunity, is a quiet reminder that survival often depends on the actions of others, even those with whom one shares little in common. A sudden alarm sends a troop of baboons racing through the trees, mothers clutching infants as they leap from branch to branch. Their escape is a testament to the power of vigilance and the value of community in a world where danger is never far away. Across the plains, mixed groups of animals move together, zebra and wildebeest, each benefiting from the other's strengths. Their shared vigilance creates a tapestry of awareness, a living shield against the ever-present threat of predation. Every interaction, every subtle exchange, is a thread in the fabric of the wild. From fleeting glances to shared resources, these relationships form the foundation of an ecosystem that is both resilient and fragile. Even the smallest creatures play outsized roles. Dung beetles, drawn to the leavings of giants, recycle nutrients and aerate the soil, ensuring the health of the grasslands. Birds perch atop elephants, plucking insects and alerting their hosts to hidden dangers. In the branches above, weaver birds construct elaborate nests, their colonies alive with activity. Each strand of grass is woven with purpose, each nest a testament to the ingenuity and cooperation that define life in the wild. Competition is fierce, and the aftermath of a hunt draws a new cast of characters. Scavengers descend, each species carving out its niche, each meal a hard-fought victory in the ongoing struggle for survival. As rain sweeps across the savannah, animals gather beneath trees and in sheltered hollows. The rhythm of the seasons dictates the pace of life, drawing creatures together in moments of harmony and shared need. Day fades into night, and the savannah transforms. Under the cover of darkness, new actors emerge. Nocturnal hunters, silent grazers, and elusive wanderers. The web of life never sleeps. It shifts, adapts, and endures, each thread vital, each connection unique. In this unseen web, every life is both a story and a strand woven into the endless tapestry of the wild. In the golden hush of dawn, the African lion emerges from the tall grass, every muscle rippling beneath its tawny coat. The pride is already awake, a living tapestry of strength and kinship. Lionesses nuzzle their cubs, grooming away the dust of the night, while the dominant male surveys the horizon, his mane catching the first rays of sunlight. Each member of the pride is attuned to the subtle rhythms of the savannah, their senses sharpened by hunger and the promise of opportunity. The pride moves as a single organism, each lioness aware of her place in the formation. Their movements are silent, deliberate, and perfectly synchronized. The cubs, still learning the art of stealth, mimic their mothers, their small bodies low to the ground. The male lingers at the rear, his presence a silent warning to any rival that might threaten the pride's domain. Not far away, a troop of baboons greets the morning with a chorus of barks and chatter. The matriarch, wise and scarred from years of survival, leads her family to a patch of sweet grass and scattered seeds. Youngsters tumble and play, watched over by vigilant adults. Grooming sessions reinforce bonds, while sentinels perch on termite mounds, eyes scanning for the faintest sign of danger. The baboon's world is one of constant communication. Grunts, barks, and subtle gestures weave a web of understanding. Hierarchies are enforced with displays of dominance, but alliances are just as important. In this troop, every member has a role, from the bold young males who test their strength to the mothers who cradle infants close. The lions begin their approach, fanning out in a wide arc. Each lioness knows her position, her movements guided by years of practice and the silent cues of her sisters. The cubs remain hidden, their wide eyes watching as the adults slip through the grass, invisible to all but the most vigilant eyes. Suddenly, a sentinel baboon stiffens, eyes narrowing as it catches a flicker of movement. An alarm call rings out, sharp and urgent. The troop freezes, every muscle taut, as mothers clutch their infants and young males gather near the matriarch. The air is thick with tension, the line between predator and prey drawn in the dust. The lead lioness selects her target, a young baboon momentarily separated from the troop. Her muscles coil, every sense focused. The pride holds its breath, waiting for her signal. In this moment, the fate of predator and prey hangs in perfect balance. But the savannah is never predictable. A deep rumble shakes the earth as a herd of Cape buffalo bursts onto the scene, their massive bodies churning up clouds of dust. The matriarch leads the charge, her horns lowered, calves pressed close to her flanks. The herd moves as one, a living wall of muscle and determination. The buffaloes are not here for the baboons. Their focus is singular, the lions. Generations of conflict have forged a rivalry as old as the savannah itself. The adults form a protective barrier around the calves, their eyes never leaving the pride. The lions, caught between hunger and survival, hesitate. With a unified bellow, the buffaloes surge forward. The ground trembles beneath their hooves, and the air fills with the thunder of their charge. The lions scatter, abandoning their carefully laid ambush. Dust swirls, obscuring the chaos as predator becomes the pursued. The baboons seize their chance. With shrill barks of alarm, they erupt into motion, racing for the nearest trees. Mothers clutch infants to their chests, young males leap from branch to branch, and the matriarch leads the way to safety. In seconds, the troop is high above the chaos, watching from the safety of the canopy. From their lofty vantage point, the baboons regroup. Calls and gestures maintain order, mothers soothe frightened infants, and the troop's social bonds are reinforced in the aftermath of danger. Below, the drama continues to unfold. The lions, now outnumbered and outmatched, retreat in the face of the buffalo's unwavering defense. The pride's unity is tested as each member seeks safety, but their eyes never leave the herd. Hunger gnaws at their bellies, but survival demands caution. The savanna settles into uneasy silence. Each species, lion, baboon, buffalo, has played its part in this intricate dance of survival. The buffaloes, focused only on their ancient enemies, ignore the baboons entirely. The baboons, saved by chance, cling to the branches, their hearts pounding. The lions, thwarted, melt into the grass, already planning their next move. The buffaloes herd their calves away, the matriarch leading with unwavering resolve. The lions regroup, their pride intact but their bellies empty. For the baboons, the trees remain a sanctuary, a place to recover and watch as the savanna's story continues. As the sun climbs higher, the baboons resume their daily rituals, grooming and playing in the safety of the treetops. Their calls are softer now, the immediate danger past, but vigilance remains. In the wild, every moment is a lesson, every encounter a story etched into memory. The lions rest in the shade, licking wounds both physical and unseen. The cubs play quietly, learning from the day's failure. The pride's strength lies not just in power, but in resilience, the ability to adapt, to learn, and to try again. The buffaloes, too, return to their routines. Calves nuzzle their mothers. Adults graze in a loose circle, ever watchful. The Cape buffalo, Synchros caffa, is a living embodiment of raw power and resilience, an animal whose mere presence can alter the very dynamics of the African savanna. Coexisting with a multitude of species, the Cape buffalo is a keystone grazer, its movements and feeding patterns shaping the landscape and influencing the distribution of grasses and water sources. Every step reveals a physique honed for survival, dense muscle rippling beneath a thick hide, supported by a robust skeleton that grants both stamina and formidable strength. Weighing up to 2,000 pounds, the Cape buffalo is a living fortress, its mass alone deterring all but the most relentless predators. Towering over many of its neighbors, the adult buffalo's imposing stature is a constant reminder of its dominance, casting a shadow that few would dare challenge. The most iconic feature is the fused horn boss, a massive, helmet-like shield of bone and keratin that merges across the forehead, forming an impenetrable barrier against attack. This boss is both armor and weapon, capable of absorbing the impact of a predator's bite or delivering devastating blows in battles for dominance or defense. When provoked, the Cape buffalo's charge is a spectacle of kinetic force. Accelerating to 35 miles per hour, it can break bones and scatter even the most coordinated attackers. Their temperament is unpredictable and fiercely protective. A sudden shift in posture, a glare, or a low grunt can signal the transition from calm to explosive aggression in an instant. Unlike most herbivores, Cape buffaloes do not flee at the first sign of danger. Instead, they confront threats head-on, standing their ground against lions, hyenas, and even crocodiles, their resolve unwavering. In rare displays of calculated aggression, buffaloes have been observed tracking and ambushing predators that have previously targeted their herd, revealing a remarkable capacity for memory and strategic retaliation. The hide, nearly an inch thick at the neck, acts as natural armor, resistant to claws, teeth, and even the venom of certain snakes, providing a crucial line of defense during predator attacks. A solitary adult is a formidable adversary, but the Cape buffalo's true strength emerges in numbers, where social bonds and collective defense strategies come to the fore. Herds, sometimes numbering in the hundreds, operate as a unified force. Their collective vigilance and synchronized movements deter even the most ambitious prides of lions. Moving as a single, coordinated entity, the herd's low-frequency calls and subtle body language allow for seamless communication, enabling rapid responses to threats and efficient navigation across the savanna. Calves are the heart of the herd's future, and adults display extraordinary vigilance, forming protective barriers and risking their own safety to ensure the survival of the young. In moments of crisis, the herd forms a defensive circle, horns outward, calves shielded within, a living fortress that thwarts even the most coordinated predator assaults. The mobbing tactic, where dozens of buffaloes surge forward to surround and intimidate predators, can reverse the outcome of a hunt, forcing even apex predators to retreat in the face of overwhelming unity. Such displays of collective aggression have earned the Cape buffalo a reputation for unpredictability and danger, making it one of the most respected animals in the wild. The mere approach of a buffalo herd can disrupt a lion's carefully orchestrated hunt, forcing predators to abandon their strategies or relocate entirely to avoid confrontation. By fiercely defending their grazing territories, Cape buffaloes inadvertently create safe havens for smaller herbivores, reducing predation pressure and fostering biodiversity. Predators must constantly adapt, their movements and hunting patterns dictated by the formidable presence and unpredictable behavior of buffalo herds. In this way, the Cape buffalo acts as an ecological sentinel, its bulk and aggression providing a living shield for countless smaller species that share its domain. As the sun dips below the horizon, the silhouette of the Cape buffalo stands as a symbol of unity, resilience, and the profound influence a single species can exert over the intricate web of life on the African savanna. In the tangled heart of Gombe Stream National Park, where sunlight filters through a dense mosaic of leaves, a silent tension pulses through the forest. Here, the drama of predator and prey is not played out on the open plains, but in the labyrinthine heights of the canopy, where every branch, every shadow, can mean the difference between life and death. Baboons, ever wary, move in tight-knit troops, their sharp eyes scanning the undergrowth and the treetops alike. But in these forests, their most cunning adversaries are not the lions or leopards of the savannah, but the chimpanzees, primates whose intelligence and patience make them formidable hunters. Driven by a hunger for animal protein, a band of chimpanzees assembles in the cool dawn. Their faces are set with purpose. The oldest females, wise from years of failed and successful hunts, take up positions as scouts, melting into the shadows. Younger males, brimming with energy, prepare to block escape routes, while the dominant male signals the start of the hunt with a barely perceptible gesture. The forest becomes a living chessboard. Chimpanzees move with ghostly silence, weaving through the undergrowth and leaping between branches. Their communication is a tapestry of subtle glances, hand signals, and soft grunts, each message relayed with precision, each movement calculated to avoid detection. As the baboon troop forages, the chimpanzees fan out, forming a loose semicircle. The scouts track the troop's every move, while blockers slip ahead, anticipating the baboons' likely escape paths. The air is thick with anticipation. Every leaf that stirs, every bird that calls could betray the hunter's presence. Suddenly, a young baboon strays from the group, drawn by a patch of ripe fruit. Instantly, the chimpanzees shift. The blockers close in, their bodies pressed low against the branches, eyes locked on their quarry. The scouts signal with a flick of the wrist, and the group tightens its net. But the baboons are not defenseless. A sentinel, perched high above, catches a glimpse of movement, a flash of dark fur, a branch that sways without wind. With a shrill, two-part wahoo call, the alarm is sounded. The forest erupts in chaos as the call ricochets from tree to tree. Instantly, the baboon troop springs into action. Adults gather the young, forming a living shield, while others scramble to the highest, most fragile branches, places where only the lightest and most agile can follow. The chimpanzees, heavier and less nimble, hesitate at the edge, testing the strength of each branch before committing. The standoff is electric. Chimpanzees cluster below, eyes fixed on the baboons above. Some attempt to climb higher, their muscles straining as they reach for the thin branches, but the baboons are always just out of reach, their movements quick and sure. The hunters wait, hoping for a slip, a moment of weakness. The baboons, meanwhile, bark defiant warnings from their lofty perches. Their calls are both a challenge and a rallying cry. Echoing through the forest, and reinforcing the troops' unity. Below, the chimpanzees regroup, exchanging glances and low grunts, recalibrating their strategy. Sometimes the chimpanzees attempt to flush the baboons from their sanctuary. They shake branches, leap suddenly, or make intimidating displays, anything to break the baboons' composure. Occasionally, a daring chimpanzee risks a dangerous climb, inching closer to the trembling baboons, but the prey always seems to find a new escape route. The hunt is a test of patience and nerve. Minutes stretch into tense standoffs, with neither side willing to give ground. The baboons' mastery of the canopy, their ability to navigate the thinnest branches, gives them a crucial edge. The chimpanzees, for all their strength and cunning, are forced to wait, watching for the smallest mistake. On rare occasions, fortune favors the hunters. A young baboon, panicked and isolated, misjudges a leap and lands within reach. The chimpanzees surge forward, their teamwork flawless, and the hunt ends in a swift, brutal moment. But more often the baboon's vigilance and coordination prevail, and the troop escapes, melting into the green maze above. Each encounter leaves its mark. The chimpanzees learn, refining their tactics with every failed attempt. The baboons too adapt, developing new signals, tighter formations, and ever more ingenious escape routes. The forest itself is both battleground and sanctuary, shaping the strategies of hunter and hunted alike. In this ancient contest, there are no guarantees. The outcome is written in the rustle of leaves, the snap of a branch, the echo of a warning call. Here, intelligence is as vital as strength, and survival depends on the ability to read the ever-shifting language of the forest. The story of the chimpanzee hunt for baboons is one of relentless adaptation, where every day brings a new chapter in the ongoing saga of life and death in the African jungle. As dawn breaks over the African jungle and savannah, a gentle mist clings to the treetops, and the first rays of sunlight filter through the dense canopy. In this vibrant world, every creature's actions ripple outward, shaping the fate of others in ways both subtle and profound. Among the early risers are baboon troops, their sharp eyes scanning the undergrowth as they forage and groom. Their lives are a constant dance between curiosity and caution, for danger can emerge at any moment from the shadows. High above, a hornbill perches on a sturdy branch, its oversized curved beak gleaming in the morning light. The bird meticulously preens its feathers, preparing for the day's journey through the treetops. The hornbill's movements are deliberate and observant. It hops from branch to branch, pausing to tilt its head and survey the world below, its gaze sharp and unblinking. With a sudden burst of energy, the hornbill launches itself into the air. Its broad wings unfurl, catching the light as it takes off with a heavy, almost awkward grace. Each powerful wing beat sends a deep, rhythmic whoosh echoing through the forest. The hornbill alternates between strong flaps and brief glides, its silhouette gliding above the emerald canopy. The sound of its wings is unmistakable, louder than any other bird in the region. As the hornbill passes, antelope startle and smaller birds scatter, the commotion rippling outward through the undergrowth. On the forest floor, baboons and other mammals freeze, their attention drawn skyward. The hornbill's passage is a signal, an alert that something large is moving above, breaking the usual rhythm of jungle sounds. For predators like chimpanzees and leopards who rely on silence and surprise, the hornbill's noisy flight is a sudden disruption. A chimpanzee pauses mid-step, its ears twitching, while a leopard crouches lower, its hunt momentarily thwarted. A hunting party of chimpanzees, closing in on their quarry, is forced to halt as the hornbill's wings slice through the air above. The tension is palpable. The element of surprise is lost. Instantly the baboons respond. Adults cluster together, juveniles cling to their mothers, and every eye scans the shadows for movement. The hornbill's warning has not gone unnoticed. The hornbill lands again, pausing to look around with keen alertness. Its senses are finely tuned, every movement calculated for survival. Its eyes, large and luminous, reflect the sunlight. The hornbill's vision is among the sharpest in the avian world, capable of detecting the faintest flicker of movement far below. In the bright daylight, the hornbill's plumage shimmers and its gaze sweeps the horizon. Its 4 types of color receptors allow it to see a spectrum invisible to most animals, including ultraviolet hues that highlight subtle contrasts in the foliage. Through the hornbill's eyes, the world is a tapestry of vibrant colors and sharp contrasts. Dark shapes, like a chimpanzee's coat, stand out against the lush greens, making hidden threats easier to spot. From its high vantage point, the hornbill methodically scans the jungle, its head tilting as it focuses on the faintest rustle or flash of movement below. The hornbill's perspective reveals the drama unfolding beneath the canopy. Chimpanzees move like shadows, but to the hornbill their presence is clear and unmistakable. Gliding above the treetops, the hornbill surveys both jungle and savanna, its sharp eyes searching for fruit-laden branches and the subtle signs of animal activity below. The hornbill's day is filled with purposeful foraging. It moves from tree to tree, delicately plucking berries and probing for insects, its beak perfectly adapted for a varied diet. When the hornbill detects sudden movement below, it may emit a sharp, ringing call and abruptly change direction, its wings banking as it veers away from potential danger. The baboons, attuned to the hornbill's signals, gather defensively and scan the treetops, their instincts sharpened by generations of responding to such warnings. Perched high above, the hornbill remains vigilant, its presence a silent reassurance to the animals below. As it flies over a clearing, creatures move with heightened caution, aware of the watchful guardian overhead. As the hornbill soars away, its silhouette fading into the distant trees, the baboons gradually relax, resuming their peaceful routines. The hornbill's daily journey, though driven by its own needs, weaves a thread of safety through the lives of many, an ever-watchful sentinel in the wild heart of Africa. Deep within the tangled heart of the African forest, the red river hog emerges at first light, its vibrant coat catching the dawn. These striking creatures are not only among the most vocal residents of the woodland, but their presence ripples through the ecosystem in ways both subtle and profound. Their vivid reddish-brown coats, adorned with flowing white ear tufts, make them unmistakable. Red river hogs live in cohesive family groups called sounders, where bonds are strengthened not only by grooming and gentle nudges, but also by a complex language of grunts, tail flicks, and scent marking. Each sounder maintains a distinct territory, marked by rubbing their bodies against trees and leaving behind a musky signature. A typical sounder numbers between 12 and 20, often spanning 3 generations. Piglets, striped for camouflage, mimic the adults as they learn to root and forage. The group's elders keep a vigilant watch, forming a living shield around the youngest members during rest or play, ensuring the safety and unity of the sounder. Foraging is a communal ritual. With muscular, highly sensitive snouts, they probe the earth for roots, tubers, earthworms, and even hidden fungi. Sometimes, several hogs coordinate to overturn heavy logs, exposing colonies of insects or mushrooms, which are then shared among the group. Their teamwork and precision reveal a remarkable adaptability to the forest's shifting resources. Their relentless activity is anything but quiet. The forest resonates with a medley of grunts, squeals, and the rhythmic crunch of twigs and leaves. As they root and dig, mud and debris fly, and the sound of their hooves thudding against the earth adds a percussive beat to the woodland's morning chorus. The aftermath of their foraging is unmistakable. Roots are snapped, branches broken, and the forest floor is transformed into a mosaic of freshly churned soil. Exposed beetle larvae and scattered debris mark the passage of the sounder, leaving behind a trail that other animals quickly notice. This disturbance benefits a host of other forest dwellers. Birds swoop in to snatch exposed insects, while butterflies and ants gather at sap and fruit revealed by the hog's digging. Even lizards and small mammals take advantage of the newly accessible bounty, highlighting the hog's role as ecosystem engineers. Yet, for the stealthy chimpanzee hunters, this cacophony is a formidable obstacle. The sudden commotion reverberates through the undergrowth, alerting not only baboons, but every creature within earshot, disrupting the delicate balance between predator and prey. Chimpanzees, masters of silent movement, rely on surprise and calculated precision, but the presence of Red River hogs shatters this advantage, forcing the hunters to adapt, melt into deeper cover, or abandon their plans altogether. When a sounder forages nearby, the chimpanzee's strategy unravels. The hog's noisy presence masks the subtle sounds of prey and signals to all that danger may be near, prompting the chimpanzees to regroup and reconsider their approach. The hog's activity drowns out the forest's natural cues, making it nearly impossible for chimpanzees to detect the faint rustle of prey. Meanwhile, baboons perched high above are instantly alerted, their senses sharpened by the commotion below. Baboons, ever vigilant, use the hog's noisy foraging as an early warning system. Alarm calls ripple through the troop, and the entire group becomes acutely aware of any movement on the forest floor, ready to respond to any sign of danger. Chimpanzees, renowned for their intelligence, recognize the risks of confronting a sounder. Through subtle gestures and low vocalizations, they communicate caution, collectively deciding to avoid the formidable hogs and seek alternative routes. An adult Red River hog, weighing up to 220 pounds, is astonishingly agile. Capable of sprinting at speeds up to 22 miles per hour and leaping over obstacles, they can charge with explosive force, scattering even the boldest predators. Armed with razor-sharp tusks and a fierce protective instinct, Red River hogs defend their young with unwavering resolve. Adults form a defensive barrier, bristling and bearing tusks, ready to repel any threat with coordinated aggression. When cornered, the entire sounder becomes a formidable force. Their aggressive displays, snapping jaws, stamping hooves, bristling fur, and guttural growls, serve as a powerful deterrent, warning even the most determined predators to keep their distance. As a result, chimpanzees on the hunt instinctively give Red River hogs a wide berth, rerouting their path and pausing at the edge of hog territory to scan for safe passage. The hog's presence creates a dynamic, moving barrier within the forest. In this way, Red River hogs establish no-go zones for chimpanzee hunters, shaping the movement and behavior of other species. Their sounders can block narrow trails and fan out across clearings, forming living barricades that alter the forest's flow. This intricate web of interactions reveals the ecological significance of the Red River hog. Their disruptive behavior inadvertently protects baboons and other primates, while also influencing the distribution and activity of predators and even smaller herbivores. Red River hogs also benefit from their primate neighbors. As baboons and monkeys feed in the canopy, they drop a bounty of fruit to the forest floor. The hogs, with their keen sense of smell, quickly locate and savor these sweet rewards, sometimes competing fiercely for the choicest morsels. The hogs often position themselves strategically beneath feeding primates, waiting in anticipation. With quick reflexes, they sometimes catch falling fruit mid-air, demonstrating both patience and agility as they capitalize on the forest's abundance. Over 30% of the fruit dropped by primates becomes a crucial resource for the hogs. Piglets watch and mimic their elders, practicing the art of peeling and eating fruit, ensuring that vital foraging skills are passed down through generations. By consuming leftovers and discarded seeds, the African bush elephant, the largest terrestrial animal on Earth, commands the landscape with both its formidable presence and its remarkable intellect. Every movement through the dense undergrowth is purposeful, each step a testament to the species' deep understanding of its environment. Elephants are celebrated for their advanced problem-solving skills and intricate social bonds. These traits allow them to manipulate their surroundings in ways few other animals can, transforming the wild into a living, ever-changing puzzle. As they move through the forest, elephants act as living architects. Their trunks, capable of both delicate and forceful actions, snap branches and clear pathways, opening up new corridors through the tangled vegetation. Driven by an insatiable need to consume hundreds of pounds of foliage daily, elephants are in constant search of fresh leaves, bark, and fruit. This relentless quest compels them to explore new territories, often venturing into the heart of the jungle where food is most abundant. Their immense bodies push through dense thickets, forging trails that smaller animals later use as hidden passageways. Each foraging expedition leaves a subtle but lasting mark on the landscape. With trunks containing over 40,000 muscle bundles, elephants wield unmatched dexterity and power. They topple trees not only to access unreachable foliage, but also to clear obstacles, creating new routes through the forest. Sometimes several elephants collaborate, coordinating their efforts to bring down massive trees. This teamwork is a display of both intelligence and social cohesion, as they communicate and synchronize their actions with remarkable precision. When a colossal tree crashes to the ground, the impact reverberates through the forest. The fallen giant opens up the canopy, flooding the once shadowed floor with sunlight and transforming the microclimate in an instant. These sunlit clearings become hotspots for new plant growth. Tender shoots and saplings emerge, attracting a host of herbivores and reshaping the food web from the ground up. For animals that dwell in the treetops, such as primates, the sudden gaps in the canopy present both obstacles and opportunities. The familiar network of branches is disrupted, forcing them to rethink their routes. The tangled remains of fallen trees block established aerial pathways, creating formidable barriers that challenge even the most agile climbers. Primates must now navigate a labyrinth of broken branches and unexpected gaps, testing their agility and spatial awareness as they search for new ways forward. For baboons, these altered landscapes can become fortresses. When danger approaches, the maze of fallen trunks and dense undergrowth offers shelter and escape routes that predators struggle to follow. Chimpanzees, skilled hunters in their own right, rely on continuous branches for swift pursuit. A single break in the canopy can disrupt their momentum, forcing them to recalculate their approach mid-chase. After elephants have passed through, the once seamless treetop highways are fractured. The resulting chaos can halt a hunt in its tracks, giving prey a crucial head start. A single fallen tree can create a chasm, too wide for even the most daring leap, forcing primates to descend to the forest floor and risk exposure. For a baboon fleeing a predator, the sudden appearance of such a gap can mean salvation. The predator, momentarily stymied, must find another way, buying the baboon precious seconds to escape. The pursuing chimpanzee, confronted by the obstacle, is forced to pause and descend, its advantage lost in the confusion of the altered terrain. All the while, the elephants continue their search for food, oblivious to the ripple effects their actions have triggered in the canopy above. Their relentless foraging not only sustains their massive bodies, but also sets in motion a cascade of changes that reverberate through every layer of the ecosystem. The mere presence of elephants is transformative. Their intelligence and cooperation leave a legacy of altered landscapes, new growth, and unexpected sanctuaries. As they roam, elephants introduce unpredictability and complexity, ensuring that no 2 days in the forest are ever the same for its inhabitants. Chimpanzees, ever adaptive, must constantly revise their strategies, learning to overcome new obstacles and seize fleeting opportunities in the shifting landscape. Baboons, meanwhile, exploit the chaos, darting through the labyrinth of fallen timber to evade predators and find safety where none existed before. In this dynamic web of life, elephants are both creators and unwitting protectors. Their intelligence, cooperation, and ceaseless activity shape the destinies of countless species, engineering escapes and forging new paths through the heart of the savannah. As dawn breaks over the tangled forest, the rivalry between chimpanzees and baboons stirs quietly among the branches. But it is only when the drama descends to the forest floor that the true nature of their contest is revealed. where every footfall, every shadow, and every heartbeat can tip the balance between predator and prey. The moment a chase erupts from the canopy, both species are thrust into a world of uncertainty. The ground is a labyrinth of roots, fallen logs, and sudden clearings, where the rules of engagement shift with every step. Here, the air is thick with the scent of earth and the distant calls of unseen predators, heightening the tension with every movement. On this unpredictable stage, the physical contrasts between chimpanzees and baboons become unmistakable. Chimpanzees, with their powerful torsos and elongated arms, are masters of the vertical world. Yet, on the ground, these same features become burdens. Each stride is heavy, each turn a calculated effort. Their knuckle-walking, so graceful among the branches, becomes awkward and slow on the uneven forest floor. The chimpanzee's hands, built for gripping bark and swinging from vines, now press into the soil, searching for purchase as they navigate the tangled terrain. When urgency demands, a chimpanzee can break into a lumbering run, but its movements lack the seamless flow needed to close the distance with a fleeing baboon. Each stride is a compromise between power and precision, the forest floor amplifying every misstep. In stark contrast, the baboon is a creature of the earth, its limbs sculpted for speed, its posture upright and alert. With a digitigrade stance, the baboon glides across the ground, weaving through obstacles with a confidence born of generations spent mastering this domain. The baboon's running style, reminiscent of a canine's gallop, grants it both explosive acceleration and remarkable endurance. Each stride is a calculated burst of energy, propelling it forward with a grace that belies its strength. In open terrain, a baboon can reach speeds of up to 28 miles per hour. Its confidence is unmistakable, ears pricked, tail raised, eyes scanning for threats as it covers ground with effortless strides. When danger looms, the baboon's response is immediate, a sudden burst of speed, zigzagging through the undergrowth, using every dip and rise in the land to its advantage. Its acute awareness of the terrain allows it to anticipate obstacles and outmaneuver even the most determined pursuer. If escape in the trees is cut off, a baboon will not hesitate to leap boldly to the ground, risking the unknown for a chance at freedom. This calculated gamble often pays off, as the baboon's terrestrial mastery allows it to break free from the chimpanzee's grasp in a heartbeat. The instant its feet touch earth, the baboon launches into a sprint, vanishing into the undergrowth, while the chimpanzee, momentarily disoriented, struggles to match its pace. But speed is only part of the baboon's arsenal. These primates are fiercely social, moving in tightly bonded troops. When one is threatened, the alarm is instant. Sharp barks echo through the trees, and within moments the troop rallies, forming a living barrier of flashing teeth and bristling fur. In the chaos of a blocked escape, baboons coordinate with remarkable precision. Some charge forward, others flank the threat, and a few slip away in small groups, sowing confusion among their adversaries and increasing the odds of survival for all. Chimpanzees, ever watchful, study these maneuvers with keen intelligence. They know that once a baboon reaches open ground, the chase is all but lost. The forest floor becomes a chessboard, each move calculated, each mistake costly. To counter the baboon's ground advantage, chimpanzees rely on strategy. They herd their quarry into natural traps, dense thickets, narrow gullies, or dead ends in the canopy, using silent communication and coordinated movements to block every escape. The outcome of these encounters is shaped by the landscape itself. In dense forests, the vertical maze favors the chimpanzees, who can vanish into the foliage or launch ambushes from above. But in open woodland or savanna, the baboon's speed and cohesion turn the tables, making it nearly untouchable on the ground. Occasionally, a baboon will stand its ground, unleashing a display of raw intimidation, teeth bared, tail arched, voice ringing through the trees. If backed by its troop, this show of force can halt even the boldest chimpanzee in its tracks. In the end, the contest between chimpanzees and baboons on the ground is a testament to adaptation and ingenuity. The savanna and forest floor become arenas of shifting power, where every chase, every escape, and every standoff reveals the delicate balance of survival between these two extraordinary primates. Gap 2s. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savanna is bathed in golden light, an ideal backdrop for the emergence of one of Africa's most enigmatic hunters. The leopard's approach is almost spectral, its presence betrayed only by the faintest rustle or a fleeting shadow gliding through the grass. Utilizing the interplay of light and shadow beneath the trees, the leopard becomes nearly indistinguishable from its surroundings, its rosetted coat mimicking the shifting patterns of foliage. While lions rely on strength in numbers and wild dogs on relentless teamwork, the leopard's strategy is rooted in solitude, moving with calculated precision and an acute awareness of every sound and scent. Each step is measured, paws placed softly to avoid snapping twigs or disturbing dry leaves. Its fur, a tapestry of spots and rosettes, disrupts its outline, allowing it to vanish into the mosaic of grass and shadow. This camouflage is so effective that even the sharpest-eyed antelope may graze within meters, oblivious to the danger concealed nearby. The leopard's approach is a masterclass in patience. Lowering its body, it glides through underbrush, muscles tensed and senses heightened. Its quarry is diverse: impala, duiker, warthog, each requiring a unique approach and timing. Even agile primates such as young baboons and monkeys are not beyond its reach, thanks to the leopard's remarkable climbing ability and silent ascent. The leopard adapts its tactics to the terrain, hugging riverbanks to mask its scent, weaving through rocky outcrops for cover, or melting into dense thickets to ambush unsuspecting prey. It often pauses, concealed in thick vegetation, waiting for the perfect alignment of opportunity and vulnerability in its target. When the time to strike arrives, the leopard's transformation is instantaneous. Exploding from cover, it accelerates with astonishing speed, closing the distance in a blur of motion. Every muscle contracts in perfect harmony, launching the leopard into a decisive pounce. Its jaws target the throat or nape, severing vital arteries or crushing the windpipe with surgical precision. This swift, silent kill prevents alarm calls, minimizing the risk of alerting scavengers or rival predators. The hunt is a display of efficiency, each movement honed by generations of selective pressure. Yet the open plains offer little sanctuary. With a fresh kill exposed on the grassland, the leopard's victory is precarious. Larger carnivores, lions and hyenas, are ever watchful, ready to seize any opportunity. Even baboon troops may descend in a coordinated mob, or hyenas may harry the leopard, seeking to steal its meal. To counter these threats, the leopard relies on its formidable strength, dragging heavy carcasses with ease. In a feat unmatched by any other large cat, it ascends trees with its prize, using powerful forelimbs and claws to grip the bark and haul its burden skyward. Once aloft, the kill is wedged securely in the fork of a branch, safe from terrestrial thieves. Here, the leopard's vigilance does not wane. It feeds in seclusion, ears attuned to the slightest sound below, ready to retreat higher if danger approaches. Below, scavengers gather in anticipation, but the leopard remains undisturbed, insulated by its arboreal refuge. This elevated larder not only preserves its meal, but also limits direct confrontations, conserving the leopard's energy for future hunts. From its vantage point, the leopard surveys the movements of rivals, adjusting its behavior to avoid unnecessary risks. Its elusive nature is legendary. Often, only a fleeting glimpse or a pair of eyes reflecting in the darkness betrays its presence. The mere suggestion of a leopard can send ripples of alarm through herds, triggering a cascade of defensive behaviors. By targeting a wide spectrum of prey, the leopard maintains ecological balance. Its predation prevents overpopulation, ensuring that no single species overwhelms the landscape. The constant threat of predation sharpens the senses of prey, fostering alertness and shaping group dynamics. Migration routes and grazing patterns shift in response to the leopard's silent influence, subtly sculpting the savanna's living tapestry. Trees used as larders become micro-ecosystems, attracting scavenger birds and insects that further disperse nutrients. The remains left behind sustain a host of organisms, weaving the leopard's actions into the broader web of life. Adaptability is the leopard's greatest asset. It thrives in environments where others struggle, from parched grasslands to fire-scorched earth. During drought or after wildfire, the leopard's resourcefulness allows it to exploit new opportunities and persist where prey is scarce. In solitude, it surveys its territory, marking boundaries with scent and claw to deter intruders. The leopard's mastery is quiet, its presence a subtle force shaping the savanna's rhythms. True survival here is not measured by dominance, but by the ability to remain undetected, an art the leopard has perfected. In the hush before the hunt, the leopard waits, motionless, invisible, until the precise instant when opportunity and instinct converge. As our journey through the African wilderness draws to a close, we witness a realm where every creature, every plant, and every breath of wind is part of a grand, interconnected design. This is not merely a collection of animals, but a living, breathing organism, an intricate web of life where each heartbeat, each movement resonates across the land. With every sunrise, the savanna awakens in a delicate balance of power and vulnerability. The golden light reveals a tapestry of relationships, predators on the prowl, herds grazing, birds calling overhead. Each day, the fate of every creature is woven into the lives of countless others, their destinies entwined in ways both subtle and profound. In the heart of the plains, mixed herds of zebra, wildebeest, and impala graze side by side. Their numbers create a living shield, confusing would-be hunters. The sharp eyes and twitching ears of each animal multiply the chances of detecting danger, and even the smallest antelope finds safety in the collective vigilance of the herd. The baboon, ever adaptable, moves with purpose through the grasslands. It survives not only by its own cunning, but by reading the subtle signals of the wild, alarm calls from distant birds, the sudden hush of grazing antelope, the faint rumble of a lion's roar carried on the wind. Often baboons forage near herds of buffalo or impala, capitalizing on their alertness. In return, their own sharp cries ripple through the grass, warning all within earshot of approaching leopards or the silent glide of a python. The buffalo's formidable presence deters even the boldest lions, while the hornbill's piercing calls signal threats from above. Warthogs, with their relentless digging, unearth roots and insects, turning the soil and dispersing seeds, nourishing the very ground that sustains them all. Elephants, the architects of the savanna, reshape the land by toppling trees and opening up clearings. Their immense strength creates new spaces where sunlight floods the forest floor, encouraging fresh growth and providing grazing for antelope, hares, and a host of smaller creatures. This constant interplay, herbivores shaping the land, predators shaping the herds, creates a dynamic equilibrium. No single species dominates for long. Instead, each adapts, survives, and thrives in response to the ever-shifting balance of power. Deep in the forest, chimpanzees, skilled and strategic, sometimes target baboons or red colobus monkeys. Their hunts are coordinated, but success is never certain. When a hunt fails, baboons scatter into the trees, their numbers and agility giving them a fighting chance. The forest echoes with alarm calls, a chorus of survival. This ebb and flow, predators in pursuit, prey on alert, ensures that populations remain in check, preventing overgrazing and starvation. Each encounter is a lesson written into the instincts of generations. When chimpanzees are unsuccessful, they turn to other food sources, fruits, insects, or easier prey, demonstrating the flexibility that underpins survival in this complex world. This dietary adaptability allows them to thrive even when hunting is scarce, reducing pressure on any single prey species and maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. They may hunt small mammals or raid bird nests, further diversifying their impact and ensuring that no single food source is ever depleted. Red colobus monkeys, agile and elusive, have evolved to evade chimpanzee hunters, darting through the highest branches in coordinated groups, their alarm calls echoing through the canopy. Their survival strategies, alarm calls, rapid movement, are shaped by generations of predation, a living example of co-evolution in action, where every adaptation is met by a counter-adaptation. Baboons, too, are not merely prey. Opportunistic and clever, they hunt small animals and raid nests, supplementing their diet with protein when the opportunity arises. Their resourcefulness a testament to survival. Male baboons may even target newborn impala, a rare but vital source of nourishment during lean times, teaching the next generation the skills of both hunter and forager. These moments of predation ripple through the ecosystem, influencing the behavior and numbers of countless other species, each action setting off a chain of consequences. Roles shift constantly. Today's hunter may be tomorrow's hunted. This fluidity is the engine of resilience, ensuring that no niche remains static for long. Predator and prey, competitor and collaborator, each animal's actions reverberate through the community, shaping the destiny of all who share this land. In this grand design, every creature, by seeking its own survival, contributes to the stability of the whole, each life a vital thread in the fabric of the ecosystem. The lion's hunt culls the weak, strengthening the herd and ensuring only the fittest survive to breed, a natural selection that echoes through generations. Elephants, by breaking branches and uprooting trees, create new habitats for birds, insects, and small mammals, engineers of diversity, their actions shaping the very landscape. Warthogs, with their constant rooting, aerate the soil and help seeds take root, fostering the next generation of plants and providing food for countless others. The hornbill's vigilant gaze and the baboon's alarm calls form a living network of information, alerting all to danger and opportunity alike, a real-time communication system spanning the savannah. Nothing here acts alone. Every movement, every call, every chase is a thread in a vast living tapestry, each strand essential to the pattern's integrity. Remove even one thread, and the pattern shifts, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically, altering the fate of all who depend on its balance. The absence of a single species can cascade through the ecosystem, changing the balance in ways we are only beginning to understand, leaving silent gaps in the chorus of life. This is the profound secret of the African wilderness, a self-regulating, ever-evolving system where complexity is the key to survival, and every niche is filled by a specialist. Conflict and cooperation, life and death, predator and prey. These are the forces that shape this world, forging an equilibrium that endures through constant change. Yet beneath the daily drama, a deep order persists, an equilibrium forged by countless interactions, large and small, visible and invisible. The lion's pride, resting after the hunt, is a symbol of strength and unity, their bonds as vital as their claws and teeth. The baboon and chimpanzee, both rivals and neighbors, adapt and survive through intelligence and cooperation, their coexistence a testament to the power of adaptation. The buffalo, the hornbill, the warthog, each plays a unique role, their lives intertwined in a dance as old as the land itself, each step shaping the world around them. And the elephant, gentle giant and ecosystem engineer, shapes the destiny of all who share its world, its every action echoing through the ages. Together these animals create a thriving, balanced ecosystem, a masterpiece of natural engineering where As dusk settles over the savannah, a new chapter in the story of survival unfolds. The emergence of the African wild dogs. Painted in mottled patterns of ochre, black and white, these social hunters move as one, their unity a testament to the power of cooperation in the wild. The scene opens on a pack gathered in silent anticipation, their ears attuned to every distant rustle. A single, high-pitched twitter, a signal, rallies the group. In an instant, the pack fans out, each member knowing its role without hesitation. Their movements are swift and synchronized, a living current flowing through tall grass. A herd of impala grazes nearby, unaware of the approaching threat. Rather than relying on brute force or stealth alone, wild dogs employ relentless endurance and collective strategy. The lead dog darts forward, driving the herd into confusion. Others flank the edges, anticipating the twists and turns of their quarry. The chase is not a mad dash, but a calculated pursuit, each dog taking short, explosive sprints, then seamlessly rotating back to rest while others continue the chase. Visuals shift to the impala's panicked flight, zigzagging through brush, pursued by the relentless pack. The dogs communicate with soft chirps and yips, adjusting their positions in real time, herding their prey with uncanny precision. Their stamina is unmatched. They run not for minutes, but for miles, wearing down even the swiftest antelope. As fatigue sets in, a young impala falters. Instantly the pack closes in, not in chaos, but with clinical efficiency. The lead hunters secure the prey, while others form a perimeter, alert for opportunistic scavengers. Within moments, the hunt is over, but the wild dog's story does not end with the kill. Their social bonds are as vital as their hunting prowess. The pack regroups, and the youngest pups are summoned to the feast. Adults regurgitate meat for those too small to join the hunt, ensuring that every member, from the alpha pair to the tiniest pup, shares in the reward. This communal care strengthens their unity, forging a bond that is the foundation of their success. As the pack melts back into the twilight, their coordinated tactics and social cohesion leave a powerful imprint on the landscape. Every hunt shapes the lives of prey and predator alike, echoing through the ecosystem in ways both immediate and profound. In the world of the African wild dog, survival is not a solitary endeavor, but a symphony of strategy, endurance, and cooperation, another vital thread in the rich tapestry of the savannah. As night descends upon the savannah, a new cast of hunters emerges from the darkness. In the cool hush after sunset, the savannah transforms. The golden grasslands, now painted in silver moonlight, become the domain of Africa's nocturnal predators, hyenas and servals. The first to appear are the spotted hyenas, their muscular forms gliding silently between acacia shadows. Often misunderstood as mere scavengers, hyenas are in fact accomplished hunters, equipped with powerful jaws and acute night vision. The camera lingers on a pair of hyenas as they pause, their round ears swiveling to capture the faintest sound, a distant rustle, a muffled bleat. With calculated patience, they stalk a herd of resting wildebeest. Unlike the wild dog's organized chase, hyenas rely on endurance and opportunism, testing the herd's defenses, searching for weakness. A sudden shift, a young wildebeest stirs, separated from the group. In perfect synchrony, the hyenas accelerate, their low-slung bodies weaving through the tall grass. The pursuit is swift, silent, and ruthless. The wildebeest's fate is sealed not by a single attacker, but by the relentless teamwork of the clan. Once the hunt is complete, the hyena's eerie whoops echo into the night, summoning distant clan members to the feast. Beyond the hyena's domain, the elusive serval prowls the moonlit plains. Smaller and more solitary, the serval moves with feline grace, its long legs and oversized ears perfectly adapted for nocturnal hunting. The camera tracks the serval's every move as it listens intently, detecting the faint rustle of rodents beneath the grass. With a sudden leap, it pounces, pinning a mouse with surgical precision. The serval's success lies in its patience and acute senses, allowing it to thrive in the shadows where larger predators seldom venture. Elsewhere, a brown hyena slips through the undergrowth, nose to the wind, scavenging for remains left by other hunters. Its ragged mane and cautious gait tell the story of a survivor, carving out a niche in a world where every night brings new challenges. Throughout the savannah, the nocturnal rhythm unfolds, a symphony of calls, footsteps, and silent pursuits. These secretive lives, hidden from the daytime bustle, are crucial to the ecosystem's balance. As the first hints of dawn color the horizon, hyenas retreat to their dens, and servals vanish into the tall grass, their presence marked only by fleeting tracks in the dew. In the darkness, the savannah breathes with stories seldom seen, each predator playing its part in the endless cycle of life and death beneath the African stars. As the first blush of dawn creeps across the savannah, a new chapter in the web of life quietly unfolds. The predators have vanished into the shadows, but the aftermath of their nightly hunts remains. Here, another cast of vital characters enters the scene, the scavengers. High above the plains, the unmistakable silhouette of a white-backed vulture circles, riding the gentle thermals of the new morning. Its keen eyes scan the ground for the telltale signs of a fresh carcass, shifting dust, a darkened patch in the grass, the subtle movement of smaller scavengers already at work. With effortless grace, the vulture spirals down, joining a growing congregation. Lappet-faced vultures, with their imposing beaks, take the lead, tearing through tough hide and sinew. Smaller, hooded vultures wait at the periphery, ready to pick clean what the larger birds leave behind. On the ground, a pair of golden jackals slip through the haze, drawn by the scent of opportunity. Their approach is cautious, but persistent. They weave between the towering legs and flapping wings, snatching morsels in a delicate dance of patience and agility. The jackal's sharp senses and nimble movements allow them to seize what others miss: fragments of bone, scraps of hide, remnants overlooked by the more imposing diners. The camera lingers on the intricate ballet of beaks and jaws, capturing how each species finds its niche. Vultures, immune to the deadly bacteria festering in decaying flesh, sanitize the savannah, preventing the spread of disease. Jackals, ever adaptable, bridge the gap between predator and scavenger, ensuring that nothing goes to waste. As the sun climbs higher, the carcass is reduced to little more than scattered bones and trampled grass. The silent cleaners disperse, leaving the land renewed and the cycle poised to begin again. In their tireless work, vultures and jackals uphold the delicate balance of the savannah, transforming death into the promise of new life for all who call this wild place home. Across the vast expanse of the savannah, life is defined by movement. Each year, as the rains ebb and flow, millions of hooves thunder across the grasslands. Wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles form living rivers, drawn by the promise of fresh grazing and vital water. Their migration is not random, but a finely tuned response to ancient cues, shifting winds, distant storms, and the scent of rain on the horizon. Yet, where the herds travel, hungry eyes follow. Lions and hyenas, masters of endurance, chart the migrations from afar. Their survival depends on anticipating the herd's path, lying in wait at river crossings or shadowed woodlands where the vulnerable gather. The camera glides above a vast plain, revealing the intricate choreography as predators move in tandem with prey. For every step taken by a zebra, a lioness recalculates her approach, blending into the amber grass. But the relationship is not one-sided. Prey, too, have learned the patterns of their hunters. Wildebeest calves cluster tightly within the herd, shielded by a living wall of adults. Gazelles choose open ground to spot danger from afar, while zebras use their stripes as a living dazzle, confusing would-be attackers in a blur of motion. The camera shifts to a narrow riverbank, where crocodiles wait in stillness, the only hint of their presence a ripple on the surface. As the herds plunge into the water, chaos erupts. Predators seize the moment, but most escape, driven by the unstoppable force of migration. Above, vultures circle, tracking the movement of both predator and prey. Their presence is a silent testament to the stakes of the journey. With every crossing, some fall, claimed by exhaustion, injury, or the jaws of the patient hunter. And yet, the migration endures, a cycle as old as the land itself. In this dynamic tapestry, the destinies of predator and prey are forever entwined. Their movements shape the land, sculpting the grasslands, replenishing the soil, and sustaining countless lives. As the herds disappear into the shimmering distance, the savannah is left transformed, a living testament to the power of movement and the unbreakable bonds that tie all creatures to the rhythms of the wild. As the African savannah tilts toward a new season, the landscape transforms beneath the relentless gaze of the sun and the promise of gathering clouds. In the dry season, golden grasses crisp beneath the heat waterholes shrink to muddy remnants, and life is distilled to its purest essentials: food, water, and shade. For predators, every shift in the weather is a signal to adapt or perish. The camera sweeps across a parched plain where lions lounge in the scarce shadow of acacia trees, with prey dispersed and weaker animals falling behind. The pride's strategy changes. Instead of relying on ambush, they become patient opportunists, stalking the few remaining water sources where desperate herds must gather. Each hunt is a calculated risk as the sun saps strength from predator and prey alike. Elsewhere, the spotted hyena clan moves under the cover of dusk, their keen noses guiding them to the leftovers of the day. Scarcity sharpens their senses and their resolve. Hyenas now travel further, scavenge more aggressively, and even challenge lions for a share of the spoils. The camera lingers on a tense standoff at a shrinking pool where dominance and hunger clash in the dust. When the first rains break the drought, the earth awakens. Green shoots push through the soil, and the savannah pulses with new life. Predators sense the change. Leopards abandon their dry season haunts and return to riverine forests, where prey is plentiful and water is abundant. Cheetahs, once restricted by the heat, now sprint across the rejuvenated plains, timing their hunts to the cooler hours of dawn and dusk. African wild dogs regroup as the season turns, leveraging the abundance of young, inexperienced prey. Their coordinated attacks become more frequent and daring, taking advantage of the confusion brought by the sudden bloom of life. Overhead, the camera captures vultures soaring on fresh thermals, marking the return of plenty. Each species, predator and prey alike, reads the subtle cues of the changing season: the scent of rain on the wind, the shifting patterns of animal calls at twilight, the first green blades after months of dust. In this ever-changing world, survival belongs to those who adapt. The cycle of wet and dry shapes every strategy, every pursuit, and every escape, forging resilience and ingenuity on both sides of the hunt. As the camera pans out, the savannah glistens under a curtain of rain, a stark contrast to the parched landscape of months before. In this land of extremes, it is adaptation, not strength alone, that ensures survival through the turning of the seasons.